All right, so today we're going to look at section 2.2, which is on solving inequalities. Okay, you guys remember when we did solving equations back in chapter 1? A little bit? So like, if you've got something like this, what do you have to do there to get x by itself? Yeah, Liam?
Subtract 6 from both sides.
Yeah, you'd have to subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you change it to something like that, it's no longer an equation. What is this called now? That's an inequality. And you do exactly what Liam just said to solve it. Okay, so the nice thing is nothing is going to change in this section. You use all the same rules that you pretty much already know. All right, so on your notes, okay, it has the symbol, okay, just reminding you. A, it's pointing to the left, and then it says B, and this is how you read it. Okay, so if you weren't here yesterday, this might help you. That's a less than symbol. Okay, so on that line where it says right below A is less than B, okay, just write A is less than B. Okay, and again, I'm not quite as experienced as Mr. Roy with making these review guides, so if I didn't leave enough room on the blank, you can just write above it or below it off to the side, whatever you got to do. Okay, now what does that mean about A and B if you compare them on a number line? If one number is less than the other, where does that mean it is? Is it to the left or is it to the right? Think about, here's your number line. And if I wanted to know a number less than 0, which way is less than? Yeah, it's to the left. Okay, so if you had a number that's less than another number, that means it's to the left. Okay, it's to the left. All right, so any questions on that? Okay, so what's our other symbol? How would you pronounce this one? C, symbol pointing right, D. How do we say that one? Shannon?
C is greater than D.
Yeah. Okay, so on that blank on the right-hand side where it says C greater than D, how you read it, right below it, put in what I have in quotes. Okay, C is greater than D. Right, now I'm going to ask the same question about the direction. Trenton, if you want a number that's greater, which direction do you go? Do you go to the left or do you go to the right? Yeah, you go to the right. Okay, and I think it already says this on your notes. Okay, if a number is bigger than another number, it's to the right. Okay, it would be to the right. So if I were to compare the number 8 and the number 10, 10 would be to the right. Okay, on a number line because 10 is bigger than 8. 8 is to the left of 10 because 8 is smaller. Okay, so that's just about the placement on a number line. Okay, any questions on that? All right, so the next one. Okay, on your notes it says to blank means to find the solution set. Okay, this is where we're going to see the word that a couple of you brought up during the homework, solve. Okay, now you're going to see the word solve. Okay, so to solve an inequality means to find the solution set. And notice I put the word set. Okay, set means that you're going to have a bunch of answers. Okay, not just one. Right? When we solve equations, like if I said to you, let's say I gave you something like this. Actually, no. Like this. 2 times what is going to give you 8? 4. Okay, 2 times 4 would give me 8. Is there any other answer to this problem?
No.
No, that's the only answer. It's not a set of answers, it's the only answer. Okay? But if we change it to something like this, okay, 2x is less than or equal to 8. Now we're going to get a bunch of answers. Okay, we're going to get answers from a certain number down. Okay, every number that's below a certain number. Okay, we're not going to solve one quite like this today, but we'll get to those kind tomorrow. Okay, so this part, I just want you guys just to read this. Okay, you don't have to write this part down. Okay, when you solve an inequality, you are allowed to add or subtract the same number from both sides. Okay, but you have to do the same thing on the left and the same thing on the right. What is this similar to? Where did we see this idea before? Where we added the same thing on both sides. Okay, now we're doing it with the inequalities. Yeah?
When we use the PEMDAS?
So PEMDAS is usually like when you're doing arithmetic. So PEMDAS is more if you had something like 2 times 3 divided by 5 plus 6. It just tells you what to do in what order. So that's still important. But we didn't really see this idea. But we did use it somewhere, yeah?
When we use SAM,
Yeah, and what were we doing when we used SAM?
simplifying, then adding, subtracting, and then multiplying and dividing.
So what were the directions for that kind of problem, though? What would it say on it? Solve the equation, exactly. Okay, so when we solved equations, we did this already. Okay, we added the same number to both sides. Okay. Nope, I'm just reminding you, this is the same thing as when we solved equations. All right? You're allowed to add or subtract the same number to both sides. What else are you allowed to do besides add and subtract? What are the other two operations? Yep. Multiply and divide. Okay. We're not doing multiplication and division today. Okay. The reason why is there's a trick when you're solving inequalities. Something comes up that you've got to be careful with. So we're going to save multiplication and division for tomorrow. Okay. So as Liam just said, this is just like when you solve an equation. All right, so let's see if we can solve and graph. Okay, not every problem on the test is going to have you solve it and graph it, but it's good to practice doing both because it's something I am going to ask you to do on various problems. Okay, so we'll practice doing some graphing. All right, so how about Emily? Is x by itself here?
No.
Nope. What's preventing it from being by itself?
The -8.
-8. So we want to do something to get rid of that -8.
Add the 8 on both sides.
Perfect. Gonna add the 8 on both sides. -8 plus 8, that's 0. Okay, that cancels out. How about Jordy? Can you tell me what I have on the left-hand side now? Say what you just said again. X, just X. Perfect. Okay, just the X. Then I have my symbol. Okay, Vanessa, I know you weren't here, but do you know the name of that symbol? That's less than. So my trick is the less than kind of looks like an L. It's like bent in a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's almost like an L. So less than. And -11 plus 8. Okay, how about Sabrina? What's -11 plus 8? -3. Good. All right, so that's it. Okay, we've done the solve part. Okay, does anyone have any questions on how we solved it? Okay, so you might be thinking, well, boy, that was really easy. They do get harder, just like equations. But if you can understand the simple ones, that'll help you to understand the ones that get a little harder. All All right, so we still have to do the second half of the problem, which is graph. Right, how about Natalie? Can you tell me what should I do on my number line first so that I can get ready to graph this? Yeah, I got to number it. Okay, if you've got a blank number line, you gotta put something on it. So let's just go -3, -2, -1. Okay, just number like 3 numbers. I mean, if you want to put -4, you can, but just number a couple. Okay. Next thing I want to do is look at my inequality. How about Sabrina? Is this inequality set up the way I want it? Yeah, that's perfect. Letter, symbol, number. That's how you always want it. Okay. What's the next thing I have to decide when I'm graphing? You don't have to tell me what one. Just tell me what I have to decide. I got to decide if it's an open or a closed circle. Perfect. Okay, Emma, is this one an open or a closed circle? And how do you know?
It's open because it's not equal to.
Perfect. It's open. It's not equal to. Okay, and the last thing, how about Iselise? Which way do I shade? To the left or to the right? We're going to shade to the left. Okay. And that's it. That's how you solve it and graph it. Okay, questions on that one? All right, so why don't you guys take a second, on your own, and try to solve 1B. Can you work together? Not for this one. All right, because on the test you're not going to be able to work together. All right, maybe on the next one we'll do another one. I'll let you work together. Why, you want to work with me?
No.
Why not? Oh, now you want to work with me. All right, so try 1B on your own, solve it, and then graph it.
All right.
So Antonia's going to show us how to solve 1B.
All right. So you have to get rid of that, right?
So yeah, he said you
So
said
you
-2.
add
you get rid of
2, and that cancels out. And then you add 2 over here. Oh, that's a 9, dang it. Okay, sorry. 2 here, which is -7. And then so it's B is low. We'll go over here. So it's B is greater than or equal to -7. So we have to go that way. So I just made the 0 over here because there's not enough space, and it's -1, -2, 3, -4, -5, -6, and then finally -7. And since it's like that, we have to fill our circle in, and then we just kind of,
We're just drawing. I'm so happy that I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. Excellent, thank you.
Let me stick that 4 up.
Okay, so everything he got here is perfect. He added the 2 on both sides. -9 plus 2 is -7. He did a filled in circle because it had the equal to and pointed to the right. Okay, that's perfect. On your number line, okay, when you guys have a number line, if you don't want to number as much, you can go like
Oh, you didn't tell me this.
if
You write all those numbers out.
Like if you had -7, what you could do is just put 0 in the middle. Just put -7 and +7. Just keep it symmetrical because they're each the same distance away, and that's okay. So you can always do something like that. Okay, just when you number a number line, don't do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Be consistent. Okay, if you're going to go by ones, just keep going by ones just like Antonio did. Okay, so that's perfect. Great. Any questions on example 1B?
No.
All right, let's try.
Now we're trying to work together?
Work together?
Yeah.
Let's
Yes, you can.
let's do 2A together, and then we'll try 2B. I'll give you 30 seconds. I'm not going to give you as much time to do 2B. I'll give you 30 seconds because these are only one step.
Wait, can I do this on the board again?
Can we do this one? How about, let me give, if somebody else wants a turn. All right, if someone else does, you're doing great. But if nobody else wants to, then I'll let you do it. All right, you know what? Let's, I'll let someone come up for 2B. Let's do 2A together, and then 2B, someone can come up and do it. All right, what's my one and only step for 2A? Yep, Ariel? Going to minus 8 on both sides. Plus 8 minus 8 cancels out. And what am I left with?
We're left with y.
Y.
Less than.
Yep, remember if it points to the left, begins with L, less than, left. Okay, less than or equal to. And 5 minus 8. Negative 3. Yeah. Okay. So y is less than or equal to negative 3. Okay. So negative 3 is not too many numbers, so I'm just going to number everything. Just number it up to 0. Okay, you don't have to number that way, but that's just how I chose to do it. And Bay, I know you just came in, but you remember what kind of circle we use when we have the equal to?
Colored in.
Yep, we fill it in. And am I going to shade left or right? Yeah, Marissa? Perfect, we're going to shade left. Okay, any questions on 2A? All right, now 2B, before I let you guys work on it, I want you to kind of look at it and tell me what's different. Okay, there is a decimal. Not too bad, but we are going to have to work with a decimal. What else is different about 2B? Something here that didn't happen in example 1 or the other one we just did.
There's a decimal.
Okay, there is a decimal. What else? Yeah? Easily?
It's not set up the way we want it.
Right, what's in a different spot?
The variable.
What about the variable? Where is it?
It's on the right side. It needs to be on the left side.
Right. Okay, so as you're solving this, you have two choices. You can either fix it now, or just solve the problem the way it is and fix it at the very end.
Fix it now.
Let's fix it at the very end.
You can do it either way. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys like
30
six,
seconds.
I'll even give you 45 seconds. Look at that. Feeling generous today. All right. So take 45 seconds and see if you can solve it and graph it.
Okay, so
So Antonio's going to show us how
I'm
to
gonna
do
flip it at
2B.
the end. So you do 1.4. You minus 1.4 from 1.4. That cancels out. You minus 1.4 by negative 8, which gives you. I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like it's 7.6.
Can you write that down, Antonio? Can you just put the minus and then a 1.4 on each side?
Oh, okay. And
Perfect.
so over here, I've got my tongue. All right, so we're gonna have
Yes.
7. What the heck? It's me. Yeah, 7.6 is less than m, and then you flip it so it's 7.6 is greater than m.
Okay, before he graphs it, I just want everyone to Tell me, we agree or disagree with 7.6?
I disagree.
I disagree.
Anybody got 7.6?
Negative.
I mean, negative 7.6, my bad. Forgot that.
Okay.
No.
How about
Still
negative
wrong.
7.6?
Still wrong.
No.
Okay, think of like -8. Like if you owe someone $8 and then you borrow another $1.40, it's even more negative.
So,
So what would that be? -8 and then minus another 1.4.
oh, it'd be 9.4, negative 9.
Negative 9.4.
I erased it.
Okay, how many people had negative 9.4? Okay, good. Everything else you did though was right. Just make sure you put less than M.
I'll change that over there.
And what is the top?
That was you.
Just do a big circle and just click.
Make sure you put the eraser back, otherwise it's going to erase what you do right now.
Oh, okay. So, and that is. And then, so we're not enough space, so. Just gonna go the 0 here. We'll make this 9, negative 9. This will be negative 10. That was 9, negative 10. And it's like somewhere in here. So we'll do that.
Negative 9?
Yes.
Wait,
So, there we go. And then, no! You're right.
Oh my god.
No!
Do a big circle and then it'll erase the whole thing.
And then, that way.
All right, good. So let's take a look. Thank you. All right, so this is good. Okay, everybody get at least up to that? All right, now before we graph it, what I want to do is just rewrite it like this. Which way should that inequality point? Towards the negative 9.4 or towards the M? Well, what was it pointing at originally? It's pointing at the negative 9.4, right? So it still has to be pointing at the negative 9.4. Okay? If you want to switch the letter and the number around, you need to flip the sign. Okay? All right, so that's what I just checked off. Those two things are exactly the same. Which one do you think I like better, the one on the left or the one on the right?
The right.
Why?
Because it looks nice.
Because the letter comes first, and what's good if the letter comes first?
Then it tells you which way the line is going.
Right, it tells me which way I should be shading. All right, so should I be shading, is this graph what we're looking for? Okay, almost. Okay, he's got the number in the right spot, but we just want to shade the other way. Okay, so I'm going to put it like Antonio had it. Okay, just label a few numbers. Okay, negative 9.4, you just got to kind of estimate where that's going to be. Somewhere in between negative 9 and negative 10. And I'm going to shade the direction it's telling me, which is to the right.
Oh my god.
And I didn't ask this, but why did I use an open circle? Why not filled in?
Because of the mark
Because of that.
time. The
Equal to.
yeah, equals.
Yeah, this one doesn't have the equal to.
Yeah.
Right? If it doesn't have the extra symbol under it, don't do the extra step of filling in the circle. Okay? Okay, so m is greater than negative 9.4. All right, any questions on that one? All right, so last one. Okay, it says, anybody in electrical? Anybody want to be in electrical?
No.
Well, then you won't like this problem. But anyway, it says a circuit overloads at 1800 watts of electricity. Okay, you're going to plug in a microwave that uses 1100. Okay, I want you to write and solve an inequality that represents how many more watts you can plug in without overloading the circuit. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want the?
Oh,
What's What do you want the wattage to be under? What does it tell you the maximum wattage you can use for the circuit is? 1800. Okay, so you want the stuff you plug in to be less than. Is it less than or equal? What do you think? Less than or equal?
Less than or equal.
Well, it says the circuit overloads when you hit 1800 watts. So can we plug in 1800 watts of stuff? No. The stuff you plug in has to be less than 1800 watts. Okay? So now I want you to tell me, what did it already tell us we're going to plug in? Yep.
1100.
And what, yeah, that's the, what is it, toaster or something? Or microwave? Okay, so the microwave, we plug that in. That's 1100. And we want to know how much more we can plug in. Okay, we don't know what else we're going to plug in. But how do we represent it? Yeah, and what could we use for a variable?
W.
Sure. W? And yeah, any variable is fine. So we know that whatever else we plug in, which is right here, added to what we already have, it has to be less than 1800 watts or the circuit is going to trip. Okay? So any questions on the inequality? Okay, did we do what they wanted in part A? We did part of what they wanted. Read the directions. What do the directions say to do?
Right and solve.
Yeah, we wrote it. Now we need to solve it. Okay? Somebody tell me, how do I solve this inequality? What do I have to do? Ashley? Subtract how much? Okay, to subtract 1100. What does that leave me with on the left? W is less than, what's 1800 minus 1100? 700. So somebody explain to me what that means in terms of me plugging stuff in.
700 more watts than it will explode.
Okay, if I plug in 700 more watts worth of stuff, it would trip the circuit, which means I have to plug in less than that. Okay, I can plug in anything I want as long as it's less than 700 watts. Okay, no more than that. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so keep that in mind. We have to plug in things less than 700 watts. Okay, so in addition to the microwave, I want to know which of the following appliances could you plug in and use at the same time?
Blender.
You could plug in the blender, right? Blender, that's only 300. What else could you plug in? You could plug in the clock. That doesn't use too much. How about the hot plate?
No.
No. Okay, we can only plug in something that's up to 700. Otherwise, we're going to trip the circuit. How about the toaster? Now, what if I didn't have the microwave? If I didn't have the microwave plugged in, could I do the hot plate by itself on the circuit?
No.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Yes.
What can the circuit handle? How much?
1800.
1800. So if I didn't plug the microwave in, I could plug in just the hot plate, but I have to take the microwave out. Okay, so these are the only two. And you could use both at the same time. How much wattage would you be using on the circuit if you plugged in the microwave, the clock radio, and the blender. And they were all running at the same time.
1,450.
Yeah, you'd be using 1,450 watts, which is still under the 1,800, so your circuit should be safe. Okay, so any questions on that? All right, so you guys got about 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you the homework to start it. Those that need to finish a test, you can work on that. And tomorrow I'll be after school for extra help.